Hi folks, welcome to Survivorship Life. Thank you for visiting us. This is going to take 5 minutes. Trust me, only 5 minutes of your time. It's a brief tutorial on the Survivorship Life product. I swear 5 minutes and you're going to learn a lot. So let's begin. Who am I? My name is Jerry Orifice. I've been in the business over 30 years. I own the company. All we do is broker Survivorship Life products, period. That's it. That's what we do. Now, as you probably know, Survivorship Life is a life insurance product that insures 2 lives, pays off at the second death. Look it, if you're a young couple, this is not the product for you. You have to have a high net worth couple, preferably older, because this is going to leverage money to pay estate tax. It's going to be a cheap way to do it. So 1, you're probably older like me. 2, you have a high net worth like me. Why would you buy the Survivorship Life product? That's the key. And so here it is in a nutshell. The Survivorship Life product is priced so that it's cheap. It's an inexpensive way to pay $1 million of estate tax. And let me tell you what I mean. For example, if a couple roughly 75 years of age to purchase roughly $1 million to pay estate tax, say they have $1 million of estate tax, that's going to cost roughly $20,000 a year. That's 2%. So this is roughly a couple 75 plus or minus. 2% a year. 2% a year. Now let's compare that with you who say, look at Jerry, I don't want to bother with the policy. I'll use $1 million, I've got $1 million of cash. I've got $1 million of real estate. I have $1 million of stocks and bonds. My kids will liquidate it and transfer it to Uncle Sam. Get it. And what does that cost you? What did that $1 million of tax cost you? It cost you $1 million of assets. It's like a single premium. You transferred $1 million of your money that you've worked so hard for $1 million of tax. The Survivorship Life, let's go back. You're paying 2% a year. If you lived 20 years, you would have put in 40%. 40%, that takes you to 95. You would have put in how much? 400,000 for the million. To me, that's a good deal because you're paying 40 cents on the dollar. 40 cents on the dollar is cheaper than 100 cents on the dollar. So that's the essential concept. So if you have an estate tax liability, you have to look at this product. I have tax attorneys who send me a lot of business. They won't have their client get into any kind of estate planning until they can see how they can qualify for this product. Why? Because they know it's a cheap way to pay the estate tax. Now, let's back into this a little bit. We represent all the top companies in the world. All the top companies in the world. What kind of policy do you want? Okay, here's where it gets a little bit tricky. And I'm going to bust a couple of myths here. 1, you want a no-frills, low-cost policy. One that is guaranteed that you cannot outlive. No living benefit. Cheap premium, guaranteed death benefit, you cannot outlive. Cash value. Who cares about cash value? Have the insurance company keep the cash value. They don't pay you the cash value when you die. How about a dividend contract? Well, Jerry, I've got this company, Northwestern Mutual, we've got all these dividends. Do you know what a dividend is? If you don't learn anything else, a dividend is an overcharge of a premium in the first place. For example, they charge you a premium, for example, of $14,000. They really should charge you $10,000. At the end of the year, they give you $4,000 of a dividend. Is that a good deal? No. Go with no frills, top company, guaranteed low-cost premium that you cannot outlive. And it'll be the cheapest way for you to pay the estate tax or to provide a legacy for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, etc., etc. Okay. Now that we've gone down this road with the survivorship, what's important is that you do not own it. You're not going to own it. We're going to set up an I.L.I.T, Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust, I.L.I.T, or we could otherwise have your kids own it. We could discuss later the pros and the cons. Another thing, you're saying, well, Jerry, what do you do for us? All we do is survivorship. We broker with all the top companies in the world. So if you're interested, you're going to go to our free quote page, fill that out, or call us up, and call in the information. We will give you a number. You say, Jerry, let's proceed. No obligation. You're not going to pay us a fee. We're paid directly by the insurance company, whichever top company you pick. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. It's a cheap way to pay estate tax. If you have a special needs child, it's a perfect product to provide for their safety and well-being should both the husband and wife pass away. It's a great, great product, and it's one that if you have a high net worth, do not use your own money to pay estate tax. It's just foolish. So go to our free quote section and type that in, and we'll give you a quote. And don't pay 100 cents on a dollar when you can discount it using the Survivorship Life. Thank you for visiting. I told you it was only going to take 5 minutes, and I told you to learn something new. Thank you very much.